Visionaries is proud to present its 22nd season on public television. Sometimes you read the paper and watch the news, and it seems like there's more bad news than good in the world. But you know what? It's just not true.
I at least can hold on to something, that there's something, maybe it's small, but there's something that I'm doing to make a difference.
It's just a feeling that you have. If you can help people, you have to. There's no alternative.
Every child has potential that we just can't know. And so, to my mind, that's what we're doing. We are saving potential for the future.
Solidarity Bridge. Great name. It inspires images of people coming together, working side by side, forging loyal and lasting relationships in the pursuit of a common good. This story is all of that, but it is something less and something more. We are going to follow a team of surgeons from the United States on a mission to hospitals in Bolivia. The something less is that these American teams from Solidarity Bridge are not here to perform medical miracles and then fly back home. The something more is that they make these trips to empower local doctors to better serve their own communities. And in the end, all who participate are forever changed.
The reality of Solidarity Bridge is that we are one mission in action in two geographies, Chicago and Bolivia. Our name says a lot about who we are. It says everything about who we are.
Jaime was actually here in this hospital for our first trip, 2007.
Es de mutua cooperación y ambas instituciones nos necesitamos para hacer el bien.
Solidarity is a relationship that is mutual. There is always a sense that in the encounter with the other, you have something to gain.
Perfect.
Also, an aspect that the Catholic social teaching has highlighted is that it's an abiding commitment to the common good.
Solidarity Bridge is a surgical program to help those in need, but it's not a short-term program.
So right now, these are the mobility.
We entrench ourselves into the medical community here in Bolivia.
One of our rules really is that we don't go into the operating room without a local surgeon, because these are their patients. These aren't our patients, and it allows us to do the work, but to ensure that the patients have continuity of care, which is critical for surgeons.
So today we needed to meet with all the patients. Now all of our patients are actually pre-screened and pre-selected by the Bolivian partners. We arrive and they have it all organized, who the patients are, all of their labs, and then our doctors sit down with them and go patient by patient. And then working together, the U.S. missioners with the Bolivian partners, they develop the surgical plans.
Guadalupe was a patient who was having a lot of difficulty with her intestinal tract. She has Chagas disease. It's a parasite. You get a dysfunction of the nerves, so people can have problems with their colon, where the colon doesn't work very properly. So these patients have very slow bowel function. They get very distended, very bloated. Sometimes even they can't eat very well. It was affecting her nutrition, her energy level, and everything was going downhill. Our plan is to remove the remainder of her colon and take her small intestine and sew it right to a loop of intestine below, so that now she would have normal bowel movements and in turn start working and being more productive because she's young.
Esta es mi familia. Aquí yo estoy en esta foto, recién había salido ya de mi quimioterapia, ya había superado el cáncer que tenía.
vivan un poco más felices, tengan una niñez normal, lo que yo no tuve.
Carmen is a patient who had cervical cancer, I think 3 years ago, and now she has a mass in her abdomen. She's concerned that this is a recurrent cancer, but it appears to be a very classic case of an incisional hernia, so we'll be repairing that laparoscopically.
Estos son mis motores de vivir.
Carmen has a hernia after her last surgery for her cervical cancer, and we're going to repair her incisional hernia laparoscopically. It is easier than open.
Afortunadamente yo creo que muchos de nosotros y personalmente yo hemos tenido la suerte de conocer a la doctora Gay Gazzett, ¿no? Porque creo que ha sido una de las pilares para que sigamos haciendo nosotros cirugía laparoscópica. Que en cada campaña que llega a ella siempre trae cosas nuevas. O sea, algunas técnicas nuevas.
Since these defects are very small, I'm not going to try to close them like we did on the other hernias. So what we'll do is we'll put a suture, a suture, a suture, a suture, and maybe one here. And this one will pull straight up. And then and we'll put them. These four will go, to hold it in place. So each piece of mesh that we use in a case like this can cost upwards of $1,000 or more. So although the technique has great advantage to the patient, the cost is prohibitive down here. So any mesh that we can get is very valuable. Wait, I'm backwards. Yes, like this. Wait, I'm backwards. Yeah, I can't do it, I'm backwards. Yeah, see. The only difference between sort of an American surgeon and a surgeon in Bolivia, it's not the talent, it's the equipment. We in America have a lot of expensive equipment that makes us much more efficient and sort of facile with what we do. What we've seen is as we've been able to sort of introduce some of these newer techniques down here, they pick them up and run, and it's really a good thing to see.
Estás hablando y cuáles son los casos. Es el doctor Tapia el que generó todo este problema. Cuando se le preguntó a él y se le invitó.
We're so grateful for the partnership of Puente de Solidaridad, and it really has been through them that we become increasingly sustainable in everything that we're doing. Our mission trips are very short term, they're usually 8 to 10 days, and it's through those teaching missions that the local Bolivian communities have new learnings and perhaps more materials and technology through which they can move out into their own communities.
Dr. Johnny Camacho had this idea he'd been working with us for a while, of how do we reach out to the more rural communities. And they came up with this idea, let's get a laparoscopic tower that we can break down, put in the back of a van, and take it. Go on the road. Let's take this show on the road. Working together with Jose Choque, who is our amazing almost engineer, knows how to put together all kinds of medical equipment. They put together what we call our mobile laparoscopic unit.
Es un tipo de cirugía que se beneficia mucho la gente de la área rural,
This type of surgery in particular is very helpful for people from rural areas.
Porque para ellos es muy difícil acceder a ese tipo de cirugía.
For them, it's very difficult to access this type of surgery.
Solo no lo podríamos hacer.
We couldn't do it alone.
Con la ayuda de Puente de Solidaridad, porque ellos son los que nos proveen, la verdad, de material.
With the help of Solidarity Bridge, they're the ones who provide all the material.
La torre de la paroscopía.
The tower.
Que probablemente a los lugares donde vamos, en mucho tiempo no van a tener propio de ellos.
The places where we go to operate, it'll be a long time before they have that type of equipment.
Para que sea móvil, todo el mueble es desarmable. Nuestro equipo de laparoscópico móvil tiene un monitor, una cámara, un insuflador que trabaja con el gas carbónico. Usamos para inflar el abdomen y tener espacio para mover los instrumentos laparoscópicos. Gracias a este equipo, ya no necesitamos abrir heridas grandes en los pacientes. Cuando las personas tienen cirugías abiertas, los médicos cierran la herida, toda la herida, y muchas veces la persona necesita trabajar muy pronto y lamentablemente por el tiempo no cicatriza todo. Entonces cuando hace esfuerzo, cuando levanta peso, el abdomen se infla y empieza a crear hernias. Por esa razón es que esta es la mejor forma para evitar hernias. Este es nuestro hijo.
En la campaña lo que hacemos nosotros es un boliviano ayudando a otro boliviano.
Now they have already done, close to 8-9 mobile campaigns. So they go to different hospitals, take everything they need, set it up, operate, do 15, 18, 20 surgeries in a week for patients who cannot make it into the city.
Es más o menos lo que hacen ustedes, vienen de Estados Unidos a Cochabamba. Vamos de Cochabamba a provincias.
Surgery went very well. Carmen had actually 5 hernias that we were able to see and repair all with one repair. So that's nice. Had she had an open procedure, at least one of those would have probably been missed, and then she would have been back here in 3 years thinking she had cancer again. She's cancer-free as far as everything that we could see.
I was pregnant in 6 months. There was an emergency operation.
Our founder, Juan Lorenzo Hinojosa, was born in Cochabamba, Bolivia. He spent most of his life in the U.S., and at about age 55, 57, he felt very clear in his heart that it was time to shift his life toward addressing the poverty he had seen in Bolivia. Very much of a visionary. He knew that something could happen if he started bit by bit pulling professionals together, and that is what he did.
Solidarity Bridge is the medium or the channel or the way that people's interest can be effectively and efficiently channeled to do good.
He was probably one of the first people that really I could see had a deep soul, had a deep energy, a spirituality about him. He was one of the first people who could sit down and talk to me about life and the meaning of life and the meaning of a mission.
Put back together again, but still has Chagas.
Entonces se hizo la restitución, pero todo.
First of all, everything went very well.
Muy bien.
We wanted to make sure there was no spread of the cancer.
Queríamos que no se esparce el cáncer. Thank you.
And it got me to better understand perhaps what was I trying to accomplish, okay? What was I trying to do with surgical skills that I was lucky enough to acquire over the decades of training. There is a geographic lottery that we all are in. When you come to Bolivia, you realize, you know what, these guys are just like we are, but the only thing is that geographically they were born in a different area.
Yo le operé, le hice la colostomía.
I did
See?
the colostomy.
There's no reason why we should have so many borders around our healthcare system.
Que tenía ese tumor.
So I felt some discomfort in my kidneys, but I didn't know that I had a tumor.
Luego allá me dijeron que ya tenía ese tumor grande.
They told me I had a large tumor.
Después me han dicho que ellos no tenían equipos para operar.
But they told me that they didn't have equipment to do surgery.
Me han derivado aquí a esta primero. Sí, aquí me han derivado.
They referred me here to this hospital.
Es que me siento sola. No
I
tengo
feel
nadie
alone.
quien me
I don't have
mire,
anybody.
nada.
I don't have anybody taking care of me.
Nadie le importa de mí, total, si puedo salir de aquí o no, para todos puede ser lo mismo.
Nobody cares if I come out of here or not. A nosotros sí nos importa. ¿Sí? You matter to us.
Tell her not to worry, we're going to give her excellent surgery.
No se preocupe, le vamos a dar una cirugía excelente.
Okay? And when she wakes up, we'll be telling her to breathe. Yeah, this whole thing is the tumor. This whole thing, yeah. It's huge, and it's pushing on the ureter. I think the ureter might be right there, caught up in it a little bit.
What's the prognosis of something like this?
If it's a GIST tumor and we take it out completely, prognosis is excellent. The cure rates are very high, 90+%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's why they're favorable tumors to try to get at and try to do surgically if we can get at them. You get it? You want to hand it off? I think we'll take the bucket now. Oh, let me see the bucket. That's it.
Era un caso complicado de un tumor muy grande.
There's no spread. We looked at the liver. We looked all around the abdomen. We know where cancer hides, and we didn't see it hiding anywhere. These are type of cases where oftentimes she would go without an operation, and at 47 years old and an 8-year-old child, you can imagine how tragic that could be. She probably would not live for the rest of the year. The handshake is something that's a solidarity between us. We're in this together.
We work in solidarity, which conveys the very reality that we are one human family, and we respect and approach our partners with every bit of respect and desire to know about them as we would want in return. We go to a place that we think we have something to offer, and we very intentionally open ourselves to what we might receive as well. We very much hunger for that.
Guadalupe was a patient who was having a lot of difficulty with her intestinal tract. She has Chagas disease. And so what we attempted to do and what we were able to do was take out that bad part of the colon that was not working properly, use the other parts of her intestine and reconnect her so that she was able to eat now better. And I suspect now that over the next month, 2 months, her nutrition is going to get a lot better, and she's going to be able to get back to being a mother and a wife.
Gracias.
Roguemos al Señor. Padre nuestro, mientras te agradecemos el don de la fe. Padre nuestro, que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino.
Primero agradecer a Dios
First, I want to thank God
por haber traído estos profesionales que nos traemos,
for having brought these very good professionals,
al igual que nuestros profesionales.
as well as our own
Y
professionals.
primeramente agradecer a Dios y a nuestros profesionales.
There are many things that people say about the United States, but please be assured
Pero queremos que sepamos, que sepan
that there are many people in the United States who feel a kindred spirit with people in Bolivia.
Acknowledging my oneself as one participant in a myriad of people coming together to enhance the quality of life brings me more intimately to the person or persons I'm working with.
Yo creo ya con esta operación ya que me he hecho, con esto ya voy a estar mejor y voy a poder trabajar también yo.
You're happy she's home too, aren't you?
Tú eres contenta también de que ha vuelto.
Estoy conforme porque no puedo descontentarme. Quiero seguir saliendo adelante.
Another element of our name is very central to our work as well. Bridging people fundamentally to their own heart is powerful. What draws people to mission is their inner life. Something in them is drawing them to a desire to serve. Being connected to each other and being enriched by each other and doing that work in a spirit of mutuality is not only a mission for Solidarity Bridge, but I think should be a mission for the world.
Since 1999, Solidarity Bridge has helped treat more than 63,000 patients and has donated over $40 million worth of medical equipment and supplies. For the Visionaries, I am Sam Waterston.
Visionaries is brought to you through the generosity of the inventive minds of Honda, Cambia Health Foundation, Eustace Kwan Family Foundation, First Nonprofit Foundation, Massimo, CGIAR, Friends of the League Foundation, Newman's Own Foundation, Group M, Inner Workings, Gustafson Family Trust, Dr. and Mrs. Dennis Gustafson, with additional support by Grand Island Chamber of Commerce, the Bill and Mary Hall Fund, Hall County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Nebraska Tourism Commission, Citizens Commercial Banking, the Herman Family Foundation, Andy Goodman, Deborah Payton John Forrest, Diane Deshawn, Jean F. Schultz, the Estate of Norman Chalmers, African Development Bank, the Ernest L. and Ruth W. Finley Foundation, Community Foundation of Sonoma County, PRE and Richard Moser, Nigerian Government, Cornerstone Legacy Foundation, and Luis and Hank Leander, and from the following.